VocalSynth 2 is known as a powerful tool for elevating your vocal productions in a musical context, but VocalSynth 2 can also be thought of as a sonic playground of opportunities for creature voice construction. So, we're going to show you 3 examples of what's possible when you use VocalSynth 2 to create creature and monster voices. First up, here's a robot voice in the middle of a laser battle.
Attention, doors will be closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here is a well-known fictional character from a popular space-themed movie franchise.
You, where are the presets for VocalSynth 2? Bring them to me. Don't keep me waiting.
And here is a cave monster warning us about the perils of overproducing.
You will learn to use less compression, or you will be banished from the kingdom.
Let's go through each voice, do some before and afters, and then I'll show you how I came up with these sounds. Now, first up is our robot vocal. Here's what it sounded like before.
Attention, doors will be closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And here's after we colored it with VocalSynth 2 and added some sound effects to situate the robot in a chaotic space battle.
Attention, doors will be closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This voice began with a preset from the global preset menu here. Since we're using VocalSynth in auto mode, I went to the auto folder, deep folder, and then chose the Bassbox preset. From here, I made some tweaks and saved the preset as Bassbox Redux. The preset sounded great, but I wanted to add a bit more clarity, so I turned on BioVox and increased the breath parameter. Have a listen as it adds an airy quality to the vocal.
Attention, doors will be closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The other important change I made was to introduce the dry signal into the overall sound via this level slider here. If I turn it all the way down, we get the affected robot vocal.
Attention, doors will be closing in 5, 4.
But if I turn it up, we bring a fuller sound to the robot.
Attention, doors will be closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we also give it a hybrid human meets cyborg feel that I quite liked. Next up is our Star Battle space bad guy voice. Here's what it sounded like before. You, where are the presets for VocalSynth 2? Bring them to me. Don't keep me waiting. And here's after we transform the dialogue with VocalSynth 2 and use some epic music to set the scene.
You, where are the presets for VocalSynth 2? Bring them to me. Don't keep me waiting.
Again, I used a preset from the auto folder in the monstrous section called Rilo Ken. And then I made some tweaks and saved the new preset down here. The majority of the tweaks I made were in the effects section down here. I should mention that you can rearrange all of these effects to really customize your sound. I changed the distort, filter, and transform effect to reinforce the sound of a voice coming through a radio speaker. And I'd say the transform effect was crucial in getting the speakerphone effect, like we hear in the film. Have a listen.
You, where are the presets for VocalSynth 2? You, where are the presets for VocalSynth 2?
Finally, we have a monster sound. Here's what it sounded like before.
You will learn to use less compression, or you will be banished from the kingdom.
And here's after we added VocalSynth 2, not to mention a little cave ambient sound effect to set the stage.
You will learn to use less compression, or you will be banished from the kingdom.
To get this deep, dark monster sound, I started with another preset from the Monstrous folder. But this time, the Monstrous folder was in the MIDI bank of presets. The preset I used was called Light Creeper, and you can see that I made a few tweaks, and now we have this sound. The key to getting this sound lies mostly in the Polyvox module, which I enabled. I turned the format down over here to add depth and spookiness to the vocal. Have a listen as I bring it from its default down to where it really gets gravelly and menacing.
You will learn to use less compression, or you will be banished from the kingdom.
Next, I'm adding some delay here. This adds width and depth to the monster voice, giving it a lot of strength.
You will learn to use less compression, or you will be banished from the kingdom. You will learn to use less compression, or you will be banished from the kingdom.
Also, I increased the level slider, which as we saw earlier, introduces the dry signal into the mix, and the global mix slider, which is like an overall global wet-dry slider. You'll see that if I bring this slider down completely, we hear nothing but the dry vocal.
You will learn to use less compression.
So there we have none of the effects. So finding this sweet spot between dry and wet meant that I was able to get plenty of intelligibility so we could understand the words spoken, all while keeping the best parts of the overall effect in the signal chain.
You will learn to use less compression, or you will be banished from the kingdom.
Thanks so much for watching. To learn more about VocalSynth 2 in musical contexts, have a look at our other tutorials where we explore using VocalSynth 2 in genres like pop and hip-hop. Take care.